Um... Fine. This man has a tired, world-weary demeanor about him. Woo. It's getting late. His eyes track your movements with a penetrating, critical precision. Something about him, the lines about his eyes, perhaps, makes you suspect he's seen a lot of terrible things happen. He lifts his cup of cheap soy calf as you approach. Let me guess. You're the freelancers the others are paying to look into the murders around here. That's right. Who are you? Call me Dramago. Demerigo. I'm not one of the Wampoans, but I've been here long enough that they don't think twice about me being here. Demerigo drains the last of his soy calf in a large gulp. So, what have you found so far? What's it to you? Professional curiosity. I used to be with the New York Police Department as part of their Thaumaturgical Research Division. Part of the CSI branch, except I did the magical investigation while the other guys pulled prints and checked blood samples. Demerigo tosses the soy calf cup toward the nearby garbage can. It bounces around the rim and rolls inside. When I hear about shit like this happening, I keep my ear to the ground. Old habits, you know. Seems like you're more cut out for this job than I am. Elder Ung asked me to look into the killings after the first murder. She couldn't afford my fee, though, so I took a pass. It's not just the money, either. Demerigo shudders, folding his arms across his chest. You see that stuff day after day, you pay a price. It eats away at you. You know what it's like to feel that sickness and anger every day? To be asked to pick up a murder weapon and relive somebody's death? Feel it going into your neck? Pleading in the voice of a dead woman for her killer to spare you? These days, I'd rather interrogate the living, thanks. That sounds awful. Awful. It's more than awful. It's a goddamn nightmare is what it is. One I couldn't wake up from for a long time. Sometimes you have to cut and run. Start fresh. At least now I can pick my own jobs. I can read objects. It's called psychometry. A little trick I managed to pick up. Don't really know how. I hold something, I can tell you what happened to it. Who owned it, how it killed someone, if someone loved it, or was afraid of it. Useful, but it'll tax your heart. And before you ask, no, I'm not going to read anything you find. I already told Ung I don't want any part of this. You want advice, I'll give you that. But I'm not getting drawn in further than that. So aside from that, is there anything I can help you with? Nah, we're good. Let's talk to, Porter. Hey there, need something else? It looks like somebody went through Tong's things. Has anyone else been inside? Do you have a key to the storm drainage system? Sure, why do you ask? Drop a gun down a grate or something? Following up a lead on the killer. In that case, take the damn key. You'll have to forgive me if I don't want to go down there with you. Porter peels an antique Yale-style key off of a key ring and hands it to you. Knock yourself out, woman. There's an entrance up by the Jade Mountain restaurant. Can't miss it. See you later. We should check out the jack point first, though. Cover all of our bases. Though I will say, going into the sewers is the solution. This bin is full of assorted chips, peripherals, and add-on modules for cyberdecks. They don't seem to be arranged in any coherent fashion and are spread across the felt surface. Isabel peers past you into the bin as you search. That's interesting. There's a lot of storage memory, I/O handlers, and active memory in this bin. I'm not seeing any MPCP hardware, response increased chips, or anything relating to the hot shit decking Magpie was supposed to be into. In fact, you couldn't even build a full deck with this. Without the MPCP, it'd just be a glorified comlink. What do you think it means? Well, if I had to guess, I'd say somebody's cleaned her out. MPCP, response increase, biofeedback filters and all that, they're easy to move, expensive, and highly illegal. All the rest of this crap is good, but it's nothing you can pick up at any electronics shop. You'd have to know what you're looking for, though. Only a good decker would know what they're seeing. Could Magpie have taken them with her? Isabel gestures toward one of the other displays. A pair of small cyberdecks sit inside the locked case. I guess so, but if she did that, why would she leave the completed cyberdecks? No, I think this was theft. The front of the server's case hangs open, the inner machinery quiet and without power. A clipboard is stuck to the side by a piece of duct tape, its papers filled with a long list of programs and their prices. A quick glance over the program, she reveals names like Bugs, 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 and Black Hammer. Undoubtedly, this was Magpie's attack program storage machine. Somebody's removed the drives, and it sure wasn't Magpie. Here, look. Isabel gestures to the innards of the open server. Near the back, a solitary red light blinks. The main drives were disconnected properly, but it looks like she modded the server to have a backup drive with its own battery-based power supply. If it was Magpie, she'd have taken that too. Crap, this is a Fuji XB1000. And it looks like the battery ran out a while ago. The XB1000s are constant write drives. They're dirt cheap and have a ton of capacity, but if they run out of power, they lose their data. We're not going to be able to get anything off the drive. Bummer. So glad Isabel's with us. Magpie's desk is the kind of messy most people only associate with rats' nests, hoarders, and deckers. The surface of the desk is littered with cigarette butts, half-finished cans of soy calf, and scraps of electronics. A towering pile of empty instant noodle bowls sits next to it. Their sides are blazoned with Honest Wang's instant old-time Lamian and depict a line of top-hat-wearing caterpillars dancing with canes. Hey, awesome! I didn't think anybody but me liked Honest Wang's noodles. Flavor like you've never tasted in a package of instant noodles, I promise. Gubba taps the side of one container. See, this one's cheese curry broccoli. I don't know why it never caught on, honestly. Duncan shoots you a sidelong glance, mumbling sotto voce.
Gee, who could pass up the delicious taste of cheese curry and freeze-dried vegetables?
Gobbet seems oblivious to Duncan's sarcasm. I know, right? People out there have no idea what kind of culinary delights they're missing. I will search the desk. You gingerly root around in the desk, doing your best to avoid the more disgusting piles and spills. It isn't easy. Desk drawers are stuffed to overflowing with receipts, cigarette packs, optical chips, and cables. Most of the contents are boring, useless, and disgusting. While searching one of the bottom drawers, however, a low-quality tin lockbox catches your eye. Someone has pried the latch off, leaving a ragged hole where a lock should be. The interior of the box has several sleeves for storing keycards, all of which are empty. A small note is taped to the interior of the box. Spare stockroom keys. The doors in the rear of Mrs. Yang's restaurant. Do not lose these. Okay. A stockroom, huh? So who broke the lockbox to get the keys out? Probably whoever cleared out Magpie's equipment. I'm thinking you're right. Whoever tore the latch off the box was in a hurry. Any of the elders could have cracked the mag lock without much trouble, and most regular Wampoans could too. This seems like somebody who was tossing the place and wanted to get in and out as fast as possible. If someone was after Magpie's gear, her stockroom would be a gold mine. Alright. You search Magpie's bathroom. There's not much in here. A toothbrush, toilet paper, some hairpins, and a collection of cheap makeup. The combination bath-shower unit, however, has minor flakes of a dry reddish substance near the drain. Blood. Dried blood. Prying open the drain cover, it looks like quite a bit of it was shed as well.
Shit. Maybe Magpie didn't take a trip after all. With that amount of blood, I'm guessing someone killed her quietly and then drained her body in the bath. It'd make it cleaner to relocate.
Clever. That's a careful plan.
I'm thinking there's a lot more going on with these murders than we were initially told. First, they don't even mention Magpie to us, and now it looks like she's been killed. Something's not right here, Alley Cat. Let's not mention this to the elders. If they're hiding anything, they may start clearing their tracks better.
Good call, Duncan. Good call, Dunkachino. Okay, let's go down into the sewers. Which is accessed through here. This place sucks. Like there's blood. And oh my god, what are you guys doing? Oh, that looks bad. The disgusting pile of stinking human remains smells strongly of blood in the first stages of decay. The arms, legs, and organs here are heaped together like stacked firewood, leaking blood and gore across the floor. The parts contained therein appear to have been sliced away from the parent body rather than torn or bitten. Judging by the clean edges on the cuts, the blade used to sever these parts was extremely sharp. This is a whole world of messed up, Alley Cat. Isabel takes a moment to suppress a retch. You think the killer stashed these here? They're stacked. They've been organized. This is our killer, all right. Looking closer at the pile, one part stands out. It's a severed forearm, and it's covered in tattoos. Words in a Slavic language and a shining lighthouse adorn the forearm, and ring-like objects are inked on each finger. On the back of the hand, there's a skull inside a square. Whoever owned this arm isn't likely to be Wampoan, as the tattoos look like they were poorly drawn and inked by hand, rather than a machine. Most likely Russian criminal tattoos. How would I know that? Like, that's so specific. Despite the darkness, you see something glitter at the edge of the drain. Looking closer, it appears to be a necklace chain of some kind. It's become caught in the drain's grate, narrowly avoiding falling down the deep pit. I'll take it. Lifting the necklace out of the drain, you turn it over in your hand. It's a simple silver pendant on a chain. The silver pendant depicts a long-tailed bird in flight. A magpie. Ah. I would dare say that magpie is probably among those corpses. Oh, hello. As you round the corner, you hear voices speaking just loudly enough for you to make out coherent sentences. The speakers are definitely not local. They speak with a slight Slavic accent, and their clothing is heavily armored. Around them are a number of crates and boxes, all mostly filled. It looks like the group is packing up. Yaroslav says the boat will be ready tomorrow morning. He's gotten everything arranged with the port authority. We move the goods to his warehouse, and he'll handle loading them onto the ship, and we can get paid right then and there. Yorick spits on the ground. I'll be glad to be done with this filthy place. I will too. I hate having to hide in these damn drains. It stinks down here. I can hear the devil rats running down the walkways. It's a mess and it's disgraceful. We shouldn't have to put up with this bullshit. And Alexander still isn't back from his little trip. We'll have to leave him behind if he doesn't get back soon. I know, Galina. Until Andrei says we're in the clear from the Triads, we can't be seen with the goods on the street. They find us, we go back to Vladivostok in sausage casings. Those Red Dragon Mudaki don't screw around when it comes to protecting their turf. Who knows? Maybe Alexander was stupid and they caught him. Either way, we'll have to lug this crap through the drains for a few clicks. Several boxes near the two women bear a distinctive label, a magpie in flight. The same emblem you saw stamped on Magpie's equipment in her shop. The orc woman sniffs the air suspiciously and her eyes dart toward the dark tunnel you stand in. Before you have a chance to get out of sight, she locks eyes with you. Hi. The orc lifts her chin as she regards you, cracking her knuckles. What have we here? A curious little pest come looking for things that don't concern her? What do we do with pests, Galina? Galina puts a hand on her shotgun's barrel. We break them, Vasilisa. And then we hammer a spike through each of their throats so anyone who sees their bodies knows not to meddle in our affairs. I suggest you stay where you are, pest. The Wampoan elders know I'm down here. You start a fight, you're going to have every drone and cyber junkie on the street crawling up your ass. Some of the cockiness goes out of the Russian woman's eyes. She shifts back and forth nervously, shooting a glance at the orc. Finally, she lifts her shotgun, sighting along the barrel. You think we're afraid of those little worms? You think we're afraid of you? Don't make me laugh. We could be out here before they ever realize you're missing. You think those crazy shipheads will give a shit about what happens down here? I don't think so. Duncan sneers at them, spitting on the ground.
Make a move, shithead. Give me a reason to put you down. You thugs think you're so hard. I kill trash like you every goddamn day.
I don't care what you're doing down here or what you've stolen. I just want to find the person murdering the Wampoan elders. You think I give a shit about what you're doing down here? None of that concerns me, so why the hell should we let you live? Andre is obviously the Vora here. You're just enforcers, and he doesn't want a scene while you're in Wampoa Garden. Vasilisa shoots Galina a sidelong glance. She's right, Galina. Andre would have our heads if we had to break cover before the shipment was ready. Shit. Galina lowers the shotgun, though her posture remains wary. You don't care about what we're doing? I have a job to do. This is incidental. So what do you want from us, then? You took Magpie's keycards, didn't you? Yes, we did. Alexander took one earlier. He said he wanted to sweep the stockroom, see if there was anything worth stealing in it. Here, we don't have time for this. We have to move this gear. You want to play detective? Go right ahead. Where does this go up? Interesting. Where's this? Oh, over here? Despite the table's crude construction, an artfully laid meal awaits the owner. Several small dishes are filled with pickled vegetables, while a larger plate is arranged with long slices of raw meat. The meat is pale and pinkish white like raw pork and is covered in a light soy marinade. Poking at the raw meat, you discover that's surprisingly tender. What's more, it has the faint aroma of marinade, as if deliberately prepared. I'm gonna leave it alone. You'll see why. This box is packed full of odds and ends. It nearly overflows with a collection of knickknacks, souvenirs, and assorted personal effects. There is no rhyme or reason to the collection of items. They appear to have been thrown in haphazardly. Among the contents are charms from various temples, a wooden mask, and a paper fan. The wooden mask is extremely light. It's been painted a pale white, and the surface is almost as smooth as porcelain. Delicate features and lifted eyebrows are matched with bright red lips and delicately carved teeth. The teeth have been stained a deep black. The small charms are square cloth packets, each approximately 1 inch wide and 3 inches tall. They come in a variety of bright colors and are embroidered with characters for prosperity, peace, wealth, and protection. Inside each appears to be a folded paper prayer or a fortune written in Japanese. Unfolding the fan, you tilt it up toward the light to examine it. The image depicts an East Asian city from the 19th century or earlier. Curved roofs at sunset beside a deep blue river. 2 ships sail down the river, which is in turn spanned by a long wooden bridge. In the foreground, laborers carry buckets alongside the shore as a man on horseback rides in the opposite direction. In the distance, a pair of large red buildings dominate the city skyline, 1 large temple hall and a 5-tiered pagoda. As you step away from the box, you hear a slight click in the distance, the sound of the doors latch shutting. You are no longer alone in the stockroom. Hi. Standing before you is a man clad in heavy armor and bearing a katana on his hip. His skin is an ashen gray, his eyes dead white. His teeth are jagged and appear quite sharp. This is no man. This is a ghoul. The ghoul's blind eyes search back and forth as it regards you. It cannot see you, but you have a sense that it knows exactly where you are at all times.
Ah, a hired gun. No doubt brought to bear against me and by the Wampoan elders. A means by which they can lift the curse plaguing them. I salute your tenacity, but I wonder, will you hear me out before raising your weapon to kill me?
You're a ghoul and you're talking?
Yes, I am not only talking, I am reasoning as well. And since you have not attempted to kill me, your own higher faculties are engaged. I am a curiosity to you.
The ghoul bares his teeth, breath rasping over them as he inhales.
You wish to know not only what I am, but what I have done. As for who, you may call me Gaichu.
I know who you are. You're the one killing the Wampoan elders.
You are correct. I have killed all of the Wampoan elders to date, although only Elder Magpie was according to my initial plan. I regret the deaths of the other elders, but it was necessary.
Explain yourself.
This affair began simply enough. As you may surmise, I am not someone who can be seen in public without great risk. Wampoa Garden is an excellent place to hide. No police or triad presence, and minimal interest in things that lurk in the shadows. Unfortunately for me, Elder Ung discovered me through communion with her spirits. Rather than kill me or chase me away, she came to me with a proposition. Ung and the other elders were having problems with one of their number. An elder named Magpie had been holding many of their plants hostage, and would not budge. They could not remove Magpie, however, because her services were too useful to the Wampoans at large. Ung offered me payment to dispose of Magpie, and I accepted.
Wu shoots you a sidelong glance, tusks bared as he grits his jaw.
Why the hell are you talking to this thing, Alleycat? It's a goddamned ghoul, and you know what they're like. Really, what, pray tell, am I like? All teeth and claws and bad manners, I expect.
Gaichu's tone is amused despite the harshness of his rasping voice.
Really? You want to crack jokes, you cannibal?
Wu takes an involuntary step forward, raising his rifle.
You're the kind of monster that'd devour a family, just because it's convenient. Remember the 162s, Alleycat? He's just like them.
The 162s were a gang, Wu, in the Barrens.
Like that makes a bit of difference. Go on then, talk to the monster. But I'm keeping my finger on the goddamn trigger. I believe that we were speaking of the Elder's plans to have me kill Magpie? Surely you must be a little curious about that.
You didn't clean up all of her blood. I found some in her drain.
Ah, Unfortunate. I had thought I was careful enough. Having it on my hands must have obscured my sense of smell enough that I missed the last remnants in the drain. I disposed of Magpie's body by emptying the blood in her bathroom. Then I cut her up into more portable pieces. Those were placed in a plastic tarp, which I took to the storm drains and hid.
Gaichu nonchalantly waves a hand, his tone flat and unconcerned.
It's unfortunate, but my survival depends upon consumption of raw metahuman flesh. Letting such nourishment go to waste would be a foolish error.
But why kill the elders then?
I contacted the elders, not in person of course, and they arranged to exchange payment. I assumed since the job was done, Ung would be a woman of her word.
Baring his teeth, Gaichu hisses his next words across clenched teeth.
I was mistaken. I arrived at the nearby parking garage the elders had told me about. They'd cleared out the other Wampoans under some pretense, though I'm not sure what ruse they used. The elders never showed up. Instead, several members of the Hong Kong police force arrived. They were more heavily armed than usual, so I suspect they knew something of my nature.
I saw scarring on the concrete from bullets and a blade. You killed them with a sword?
And my hands, yes. My blindness precludes the use of ranged weapons. Unfortunate, since I was an excellent shot before I became infected. But my skills in grappling and kenjutsu have only increased. A battle of swords is a clash of souls. Mine was stronger than theirs, and they perished. A betrayal of that sort cannot stand. Not only was I not paid for my time and effort, the Wampoan elders treated me like a common animal. And I am so much more than that. Reputation is everything, and I had none. I had hoped to build a network of contacts so that I would be able to continue finding work, but with that treachery my hopes were dashed. I decided to become the monster that they feared. One by one I have eliminated them. They know how to contact me and could have ended their nightmare at any time by making amends. I would have asked for more money, but I would have ceased my hunt. Yet they did not. Instead, they contacted you, no doubt asking you to eliminate me where the police had failed. So I ask you, what now? What will you do? Will you attempt to finish what the Wampoan started, or will you treat me with the same humanity I have shown you?
Let me ask you some questions. Did you eat the elders?
Some of them, not all. My condition requires that I consume raw metahuman flesh. I do not require a great deal to survive, perhaps 3 to 4 pounds per week. Consequently, there's vastly more supply than demand.
Is this from your armor?
Ah, yes. I felt a ragged edge on one shoulder plate. I assume it was removed when one of the police officers shot me with his rifle. The hazards of war include unkempt attire, unfortunately.
Why would the elders have killed you instead of paying you?
Any number of reasons. They are notorious cheapskates, and will always try to save money when dealing with outsiders. It could be their natural inclination toward profit. They may regard me as subhuman, and therefore unworthy of respect. It could be that they felt I was too dangerous to allow to live. It could even be that they simply did not like me. The net result is the same, however. They reneged on a deal we brokered and attempted to have me killed. A message must be sent. Blood must be paid. As they have hired you to kill me, they have obviously not learned their lesson.
If I let you live, what will you do?
Kill the rest of the elders, and anyone else they send to exterminate me. It is a matter of survival. Should I ever have the opportunity to work freelance again, potential employers need to understand the price of betrayal. These murders are my curriculum vitae in revenge.
I've made my decision.
Oh? What then will you do? How will the story end?
Come and work with me. I can be your face.
A curious offer. And what of the elders? Will you allow me the satisfaction of killing them?
I want to see what they have to say first.
I would counsel you not to believe their words, but you have the sound of one who is wary as a matter of course. Very well. Let us wait until a bit later in the night. Most pedestrians will be off the street, and it will be easier for us to approach the Wampoa without being noticed.
Sounds like a good plan. Alright. This also means we are done investigating. Hi. As you approach, Elder Ung's eyes widen, her mouth falls open, and the veins on her neck bulge. What are you doing? You've brought this thing in our home. Quick, kill it before it kills us. Porter hefts his pistol warily, but does not aim it at anyone.
Yeah, I have to say, this isn't a good idea. Why the hell is a ghoul in here, and why is it wearing armor? Calm yourselves. I am not an it, and your elders know this intimately.
Gaichu bares his teeth in a rictus grin as he turns to face Ung.
Good evening, Elder Ung. I can smell your fear, and I'm glad of this. It means you are learning the price of betrayal. Whoa, what the hell is going on here? Can someone explain to me why the ghoul is talking?
The elders have been lying to the rest of the Wampoans. We would never lie to the Wampoans. Our role is to protect this community, not lie to it. What proof do you have to back up your claims? Porter nods to the elders, looking back to you with a wary expression. I'm interested to hear what kind of evidence you have to support this theory, Alley Cat. As far as I can tell, this monster killed Tong and the others, and that makes him a threat that should be eliminated. The elders hired Gaichu to kill Elder Magpie and make it look like she disappeared. You believe this, vermin? This creature that feasts on metahuman flesh that kills and dismembers our tribesmen? You are a naive and foolish woman if that's the case. Ung spits on the ground in front of Gaichu. What proof do you have that Magpie is dead?
Ung, please. In matters where an elder is accused of breaking our law, the other elders generally judge them. In matters where all of them have been accused, I am authorized to act as judge. Make your case, Shadowrunner.
I found Magpie's necklace in the storm drains. Porter takes a moment to examine the necklace. He nods at you.
This is definitely Elder Magpie's. If you found it in the storm drain, that's suspicious. But hardly proof on its own. Of course it's not proof. The number of things lost down storm drains in Hong Kong must number in the tens of thousands per year. While unusual, it's hardly evidence of foul play.
There was a large amount of blood in her storm drain.
So what? Perhaps she cut herself and washed the cut off. Or perhaps you were mistaken about it being blood. You're simply guessing as to what happened.
That's true. It's a guess.
And even if it is her blood, that doesn't prove that the elders hired the school to kill her.
Porter gives Elder Ip a sidelong glance.
The elders have always protected Wampoa Garden to the best of their ability.
She hasn't been seen in a month, and not by anyone. She wouldn't just disappear like that.
That may be unlikely, but it's hardly impossible. You haven't established that the elders were involved. All you've done is make suppositions about it.
What proof do you have that we hired and betrayed this creature? I won't sit by and listen to idle accusations without any kind of concrete evidence to back it up. What about the fight with the Hong Kong police force?
How do you mean? What does that have to do with the elders and the ghoul?
The evidence in the garage points to a fight with someone using a sword. We allowed the police into Wampoa Garden because they were hunting someone. They never told us who or why they were looking for their quarry. It didn't have anything to do with us. Gaichu hisses through clenched teeth, addressing Porter Lamb.
I was only in the garage to collect payment from them. The ordinary residents were warned of the HKPF's arrival and were gone by the time I arrived. That's suspicious, I admit.
Porter regards the elders for a long moment.
It still doesn't prove the elders knew it was the ghoul.
You Wampoans don't allow police inside the area. Why make an exception this time? The police were polite and asked our permission to enter. They were hunting a non-Wampoan. That was enough. That was reason enough for us to allow them in. Porter considers this for a moment and then shakes his head.
That doesn't add up, Ung. Why would the police ask us for entry now? They've never been polite before, and they've always tried to force their way in here. It just doesn't ring true to me. Did you ask them to come in order to hunt down the school?
Preposterous! Porter, you know what our community is like. We wouldn't lie over something like this. The school has been lying the entire time trying to cover his tracks. He's still brutally murdered several elders.
That's true. Those murders were vicious and cruel.
Porter fixes you with a hard stare.
I don't see any way to explain that away. The school is a monster for how he killed Tong and the others.
Tong wasn't tortured. There was no astral residue of pain or fear. He didn't even feel the blow.
That's correct. I struck a single blow while his back was to me. His death was instant. Regrettable that he had to die for your folly, Ung, but necessary to protect my reputation.
Ung glances at Gaichu in stony silence before addressing Porter. You cannot believe what these people say. They are not to be trusted, and even if this is true, he still killed Tong. Porter looks back at Ung, his expression flat and without emotion.
Maybe so, Ung, but a monster would not take Tong's suffering into account. He may be a killer, but he's not heartless.
The scene of Tong's murder, like the others, was a deliberate sham. It was made to look more horrific than it was.
I believe you. The blood smeared on the walls, the removal of his skin. That's a scene designed to evoke horror, not the scene of an actual fight. Elders, what do you have to say in response?
This is a farce. We have dedicated ourselves to protecting the Wampoan tribe and everyone who lives in Wampoa Garden. Do you really believe outsiders and monsters over our word? We who have only tried to end the killings? You've been duped, Porter. You and the Shadowrunner.
I concur. Porter, you know me. You know the kind of person I am. I wouldn't be party to the killing of another elder.
I can't believe we're even entertaining the notion that we have to defend ourselves. We should be disposing of the school instead. Tang narrows his eyes at you, hissing. If you think I'll forget this, you're sorely mistaken. I will not tolerate this kind of insult. The others were all too happy to have the red spheres move into the garage, almost like they wanted to keep anyone curious about the fight away.
That's right. Ip, you even told me not to go find out what happened with the fight. You said the red spear gangers were moving in and to leave them alone. Why would you tell me not to look into it? I was only trying to protect you from the red spears. They're dangerous, which is why I wanted to deal with them directly.
Magpie's gear was missing, obviously missing. Why didn't Ip tell me that? He would have had to have noticed that Magpie's shop is locked up. Why didn't he want me investigating? Pure supposition. You think it proves something that I didn't notice equipment was missing? Magpie's shop is always a horrible mess.
Tang, you did a full inventory of Magpie's Matrix servers. You assured us everything was running fine and you would be able to continue her work. I find it hard to believe you missed something as obvious as missing equipment, especially while searching her stock.
That's all I've got.
Alright, I think I have some idea of what's going on here.
And what do you believe the real story is?
Gaichu seems to be telling the truth. Elders, too many facts don't add up. You are obviously hiding something, possibly a great deal, from the rest of the tribe. I'm sorry, but I have to take you into custody until the community can decide the extent and manner of your punishment. Death would seem appropriate to me, especially given that they kept up the charade even to you, one of their most trusted citizens. Don't you dare talk to me like that, you disgusting beast.
Ip begins to raise his weapon. Porter reaches up to stop him. Ip reluctantly stops.
Ip, no. Don't make this any worse than it is.
Porter turns to face you.
Thank you, Alley Cat. I'll make certain that justice is meted out. You are free to go, and I will ensure payment is delivered to you, so long as you take Gaichu with you. I can't have him staying here.
He'll be coming with me. We got through this entire thing without even one single solitary fight. I'm happy. As you exit the Wampoa into the sweltering night air of the Kowloon streets, Gaichu turns to face you.
I confess I am happy with the decision to allow the Wampoan elders to live. We should have killed them if for no other reason than to maintain our reputation.
That's why I let them live. That's not how we do things. Gaichu bows to you, head held very low.
I can accept this. I am unused to working with Shadowrunners, and I assumed you would see things as I do. Hopefully, there is much I can learn from you. Shall we leave this place? I am eager to be done with Wampoa Garden.
Sure. Zippy's gone. I wanted to give Zippy the necklace, but I guess I can't. Would have been nice. Would have been a nice gesture. Though maybe he wouldn't care about it. I don't know. Seems like he would. The MTR rockets noiselessly toward Hiyori along the edge of Kowloon Bay. The black water glitters in the night with the light of 1,000 reflected storefronts. Gaichu stares sightlessly out the window, one hand pressed to the glass. The plot by the elders is exposed, and Porter Lamb is in your debt. You have a new ally and the respect of the Wampoans. Sometimes everything goes right on a job. You count yourself lucky. This was one of those times. That's a good end. I think that's the best possible way that mission can go. I do have to wonder if there's anything I can do with the Russian gang in the sewers that would lead to me getting, like, loot or something. But not having to kill anyone is pretty good. Because you don't get karma or, like, experience for fights. So, like, they're basically just supplementary, you know? Hey, game? Game autosaved, I know. Oh, there we go. Karma gained 8. Let's spend our karma. So I want... Drone combat would be nice, I think. Ranged combat would also be nice, though. But... Oh, wait. The main component used to calculate... Okay, so the ranged combat is important for, like, being able to hit things, I guess. Let's put some points into biotech, just because I can. That should be good for now.